Howdy y'all, and thanks for watching. I am a champion this year along with me, and for rooting on the Paralympics as much as I was, and even the Olympics. I just wanted to take a minute to share some of my favorite moments throughout the course of both Olympics and Paralympics, because that's kind of one of the things I love to do, and I didn't get a chance to do it thanks to strength and stamina after the Olympics, so kind of mushing them together. I loved during the Olympics getting to see this form of sportsmanship that I haven't, or camaraderie, I'm not quite sure where you would categorize this, that I haven't really seen in my recollection to the amount ever before. Getting to watch the men's gymnastics and watching as every country was cheering on each country that was going was something I don't remember ever happening. In fact, in the mental culture of gymnastics, usually it would be that those that aren't competing are sitting next to the stage, and they just be preparing and in their own mental space to make sure that they know everything they're going to do any moment. So cheering each other on was not top priority. I'm not saying they were rude, they just were in their own headspace and trying to prepare themselves mentally the best that they could. And it never seemed even like a concept that would be possible to be really seeing all of these other countries sitting and cheering and shouting on other countries in a positive light, just hoping that they would do their best so that they would have the best competitor against them. And then congratulating them immensely after their win, even though technically the guys who are doing this just lost. There was so much less this year of the lucky losers comments and, "Oh, I'm so sorry you got silver. I'm so sorry you got bronze." I'm so glad they were not doing that this year, that they were really focusing on congratulating people when they earned a medal of any color. And I loved that. I loved that the men in the men's gymnastics, when they won silver, that they were just as excited as if they had won gold. That's awesome. I saw that across many sports within the Olympics, and I can't say I've ever seen it in that many sports in the past. And I guess I'm most blown away by the gymnastics because historically they would just be preparing so much that getting to see them actually come out of their own shell and still do a really good job was mind-blowing, because it goes against typical conversation of how good gymnasts do their job. And I love that. I loved getting to see that. So that was my favorite thing throughout the Olympics. There were some great moments that involve sports. Oh, I wish I could remember them now, but we are almost a month out from most of them. But that is definitely my favorite. My favorite thing about the Paralympics is really hard to pin down. The first thing, of course, is being able to share it so much with YouTube, with Instagram, with my friends. That's one thing I love about the Olympics and the Paralympics. Is that it's one of the few times where, at least historically, we could just cheer on something without big stuff getting in the way. We could just have fun together. We could just talk about something random and just giggle with each other. And I loved getting to do that. Getting to be passionate about something and happy about something and not have to worry about, anything coming against that. And that is one of my favorite things about the Olympics and the Paralympics, is the unity that it can bring and just this relief. You can actually get to know someone a little bit more and not have to worry so much about what might be said or not said. And I loved that. And I love that even some of the Paralympians were getting on their social media sites and encouraging people to talk more about it, even if they were afraid of saying the wrong thing or describing something the wrong way. Just talking about it was so helpful. And that gave me so much more freedom to make these videos, even when I didn't feel my best, even when I wasn't 100% certain if I was saying something the right way, because partway through filming, my energy levels would drop, and that meant that my memory would get a little bit askew. But I knew that it was still being approved by the athletes within those competitions, and I loved that. I loved getting to see Matt Stutzman not only win his medal, but the way that he played archery was just so fun. First of all, the man spent the last year plus training by jumping out of a plane. He would do parachuting, and then he would get to the ground and he would someone would hand him his bow and he would actually do archery with his heart rate up that high from jumping out of a plane. That's how he prepared for the Paralympics, and it showed. Because usually with archery, similar to how historically gymnastics are, in between your shot rounds, you're very focused. You have to keep your blood pressure down. You've got to keep your heart rate down, the whole thing. You got to stay focused. And it can seem like such a boringly serious sport. Not with Matt Stutzman. Matt Stutzman was so happy with every shot, even if he didn't make a 10 or a bullseye. He was just so happy to be there. And in between his rounds, when they were, kind of calculating everything and making sure where to set up for the next part, he would make the crowd go wild, and he would say things to his competitors, not snarky things. He would encourage everybody to just enjoy their time here, and I loved that. And when he won, he was so filled with joy, and that there are more armless archers after him that are like coming up into the field. I love that. I loved getting to see so many of the blind sports and how those are really done, because I got to actually watch them so much more this time and learn really how things work better. Blind sports blows my mind that they can even figure out how to do that and figure out how to work within different visibility impairments. Like I said, my energy level is getting lower, so I'm sorry if my wording is not exactly correct right now. I loved getting to see in swimming how they figured out the different categories and how you could have a short-statured person against someone missing some limbs and somehow it would all even out like pretty well. Like, we had armless swimmers. We had, in a couple runs, I actually saw someone with no limbs, and they still swam well. My mind is blown with the possibilities. I got to watch Paralympic equestrian for like the first real time. I got to see how the awards are handed out to the Paralympic equestrian team. And it's absolutely adorable. If you get a chance, I highly recommend it. It's just so sweet. There are so many great moments. But I think probably my favorite moment was really getting to talk about the Paralympics and disabled life with my friends without having to be heavy and serious and depressed feeling about it. I was able to talk about the possibilities instead of the fears. And I loved that. Was everything perfect? Probably not. For neither Olympics or Paralympics was everything perfect. But I will say this year, for me, Paralympics was a lot more exciting and a lot more fun than the Olympics, partially because the media really liked to bring out the drama of the Olympics, and so did a lot of society. So it was really hard to talk openly about the Olympics and enjoy it, but also because my body was going through a pretty rough patch during the Olympics and made it very hard to watch. But the Paralympics, I had a little more energy, which really helped. People were really excited to be talking about it with me because they didn't know much about it. And it makes me like happy cry that I got to experience this with my friends. Even if they didn't watch the whole events with me, even if I was just giving them crazy highlights. And again, Lauren, I'm really sorry if I overwhelmed you with texts about how and where and when to watch the Paralympics because, once I get started, it's really hard to stop. As you might have guessed by this 9-minute video. So for me, those are my highlights. And oh, I almost forgot. Blind long jump. Seriously, look it up. It is both, I can't even explain it. I mean, I could, but that's for a different video if I did. And I'm not sure how well it'd be taken. Anyhow, blind long jump. I'll just leave you there. Oh, so many great moments. And if you get any chance to do so, I highly recommend trying to see if Peacock still has the Paralympic coverage. If you have access to Paralympics, on Peacock. If not, over the next few months or so, Paralympic Games on YouTube. Look it up. That's their actual channel name. I'm not sponsored or anything by any of these companies. They have past events of Paralympic Games, whether it's the actual Paralympics or para sports in general. They've had some World Games videos on there. But if you're in the US, it won't be available to watch until much later because NBC owns so many rights to airing. And I get it. But those would be my highly recommended places. Also, NBC Sports YouTube page. I don't usually recommend that site because I'm not a big sports person. I know, that's strange to hear from someone who's been talking about sports for 2 weeks, almost a month straight. But their NBC Sports right now has a lot of coverage of highlights that are pretty decent length highlights and not too edited down on their YouTube. So if you're looking for somewhere to start and you don't have access to any other way to watch it, I would start with NBC Sports and then para sports or Paralympic sports on YouTube, because those are available to anybody and they have past coverage as well as current coverage. Thank you for watching along. Thank you for encouraging me during this time, and happy watching. I will probably not see a lot of y'all until my Christmas Cup of Cheer series starts somewhere around the end of November, beginning of December. Haven't made up my mind yet. Depends on my strength levels and energy levels. But yeah, thanks for watching. God bless. Ciao for now. Bye.